Yeah! Guys, welcome back. It's Your Mom's Basement, episode 3. What is Your Mom's Basement? Well, it's a thing where you go down and hang out with your nerdy friends and talk about things that you're afraid other people won't really understand, like comic books in this case. The show is pretty much an interactive book club. So every week, my awesome hosts, Miss Savannah and Mr. Ian, guys, say hello.
Hello.
Hi.
These guys join me. We pick some books at the beginning of the week, we read them, and then we get together and we do this thing where we get to talk about it in depth. Ah, I see. I knew that was going to happen.
Oh, the
Got it.
echo.
Yeah, it always happens. It's going to happen every episode, guys. Sorry.
That's okay.
Um, so I'm really excited because we're talking legitimately three of my favorite books this week. This week we're talking about The Beauty by Image Comics. We're also talking Wytches by Scott Snyder and the artist Jock by Image Comics. And we're also talking about one of my favorite series of all time from last year. I really think it was one of the best series from last year. We Can Never Go Home, put out by Black Mask Studios. Oh. Someone was just like,
Sorry. My bad. Okay.
and I'm really fucking stoked, guys. But before I start talking, let's introduce everyone else. Miss Savannah, where can everyone find you, and how was your week?
Hi, my week was fantastic. And my Instagram is Hungers, and Tumblr is the same, and Twitter is Hydro_honey. I went snowboarding. It was fucking awesome. Snow was great.
Was it?
Yes.
You guys got snow. That was amazing.
Well, I went to Mammoth. It's like the only place that has snow left. So
Like the only place on Earth.
Mount High was closed, and yeah, everywhere else. It's been almost 100 degrees, not 100 degrees, 80 degrees, but it feels like 100 degrees.
And then it was weird. Last night in LA, we got like the worst rain out of nowhere. That was really strange. And then everyone, please meet Mr. Ian.
Oh, I'm Ian. You can find me on Twitter on @IanAlexander and literally any other social media site you could think of under that name. And yeah, hello guys. I'm excited for this is our third episode, right?
Number 3. We did it.
Sorry, my computer's dying.
It's okay.
Okay,
It's all
so
good. And how was your week, by the way, dude?
oh, my week was crazy. I nursed a crazy hangover this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I finally feel like I finally feel like myself today. So,
Y'all, we were at the tail end of Ian's text. Like, I was in bed all day. What did I miss? Hangovers. Who
yeah.
invented alcohol? Curse that person.
Yes.
Um, and something else really cool that we're gonna do this week, and I kind of want to show this off because this is how we tease. One of the books that we are going to talk about is this bad boy right here. We Can Never Go Home. And believe it or not, after we're done talking about it and after this episode goes up, we're going to make you jump through some hoops. Because you who are watching this show right now could win this. And what this is a special edition, limited edition, I should say. It was a local comic book shop special edition release,
Oh, that's
hardcover,
awesome.
of what I thought was the best series last year. And it's still polybagged. Like, so after we're done talking about this and you thought series was awesome, like I said, we'll make you jump through some hoops. At the end of the show, we will put a link down below so you can do all the things that you need to do so that you could, at random, win this bad boy, and I'll send it to you.
Do you want
And
me to
I'm really
explain it
excited
a
to do
little
this.
bit?
Dude, could you? Because like Ian's the
Yeah.
one who's setting this up, and I love it.
So we're gonna go through Rafflecopter, which is essentially kind of like a randomizer engine thing that will choose a random winner for us. You'll just have to do a couple tasks to earn entries, such as follow all of us on Twitter or subscribe to the channel these videos are being posted on. And the more tasks you do, the more entries you get, the bigger the chance you have of winning the awesome hardcover that is still wrapped.
Still wrapped. That's how cool this is. So it's not like I folded pages or made notes in it and wrote really crude like limericks or anything in like the gutters of the panels like I normally
Yeah.
do with some of my other comics. But yeah, that could be yours. And hopefully we talk about it. Maybe it'll go to someone who hasn't read it yet. That's what I'm kind of hoping.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, first of all, let's just say hello to the people in the chat. We've got Euronin. He's all about the hype. Yolanda. Hi, Yolanda. Thank you for watching.
Yolanda.
And then we also have Alexander David again. What's up, dude?
Hooray.
Thank you for hanging out.
Hello.
Thank you for being a friend.
No singing loud. I'm just kidding. I love it when you sing.
No, we totally went Golden Girls there for a second. If you were a Golden Girl, which one would you be in this group?
I'd be Blanche.
No. Yeah.
Or maybe I realistically I would be B. Arthur, but I would like to be Blanche.
Okay.
That's true.
I think B. Arthur.
Did somebody
definitely.
tweet the link?
Oh yeah, we got the link out.
Okay, cool.
We'll do it again.
That's what I'm trying to do.
All right. So let's talk about The Beauty by Image Comics. Guys, I don't have my titles with me. I have the other two. But someone, look at Savanna say something really sweet so everyone can look at that title.
The Beauty. This is a Kevin Wada cover, actually. That's one of my favorites. Look at that shit. Booty. Hey. It's a good one.
Oh, man. And this was, I'm really glad that we're talking about this bad boy because genuinely the first issue was maybe one of the best first issues of any series I'd ever read because it sets up this amazing premise. And essentially it's a world, I'm going to say like 5 minutes into our future, it could be even today, it could be set in modern day today, and it's all about an STD called the Beauty. And the Beauty is essentially, it's a sexually transmitted disease that actually makes you more beautiful. It makes you the best version of yourself. You know, weight falls off, creases are straightened out. You just automatically look more beautiful. And along with that came like some very minor side effects, like a constant fever that no one really seemed to mind. And it sets up this really amazing premise because right off the bat, you start asking yourself, would you actually try to contract the Beauty? And
yeah, it was an STD that everybody wanted. That's the whole thing.
That's the whole
You
point.
get way hotter instantly. So why wouldn't you not want that? Everyone's like, yeah, do this. Rad.
And it's really cool because it sets up this society, where this world where essentially you've got people who do have the Beauty, and they are almost looked down upon because they are showing off the fact that they do have a sexually transmitted disease. But then you also see like another part of society that's genuinely jealous of these people because they got the Beauty and they don't. And they just kind of start this whole campaign called Beauty Free, where it's like just natural body acceptance and this is who I am. But I think a lot of people are living like this double standard that like, oh, I don't have the Beauty, and then one day they would, and you'd actually be secretly happy that you got it. And it's a really cool, awesome premise by these guys over at Image. Who was the creative team on this?
This was Jeremy Juan and Jason Hurley.
Mm-hmm. And I just, right off the bat, guys, you talk about, right away, what did you think of the premise of this comic?
Well, I mean, the two main characters are detectives, and one of the detectives is a female who got the Beauty unintentionally. So she doesn't want to have it, and she has it, and her partner doesn't have it at the beginning of the story. So.
At the beginning of the story. And then, Ian, what'd you think about this thing? I mean, did you like right away? Was that a concept that hooked you into reading the series?
Yes, I definitely did fall in love with the premise of the story. I think that again, I'm really into these comics that deal with, you know, so many social issues right now. Like, for example, they kind of talk about, discuss a little bit how pharmaceutical companies would rather create a medication for maintenance and not so much to cure you because there's no money in that. So because there is a cure, but I don't think they want to release it because they would rather give you a medicine that would, kind of hold you off so they can make more money out of you. So I thought that was really cool. it wasn't just about the STD, and that was a really, really great part of it, but they also discussed many different things that have to do with society today, I think.
Right. No, absolutely. I think that was one of the best parts of the series for me. I think you nailed it, was that it doesn't just focus on the I like that it raises the questions that society would have about a disease like this, but it doesn't make it the main focus. There's actually the whole, intrigue and like the behind the scenes aspect of the story that makes it even better. So
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's multi-layered like that.
And I really, really enjoy these characters. There's a lot of diversity going on. There's a lesbian family. There is... There's so much. I don't want to talk about it too much. People should go read it. But, the art is really good. The characters are great. You really do care about them. They have a great relationship with each other. And... yeah, I mean, what did you think, Kirk? What parts did you like? Did you like most?
This thing like tickled me in every sense because I'm just a huge X-Files fan, and this really kind of drew like a lot of X-Files influence for me, especially the relationship between the two detectives. We got the one who's a guy who doesn't have the beauty, and then the other female detective that does. And like Ian was saying, she doesn't even want the thing. Like she's so tired of having to deal with people's perceptions of who she is when really she's just a woman working in the FBI being an awesome detective, and no one really seems to focus on that. They just really kind of focus on, well, she's hot, so of course she got this position. Which is a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's got a lot of X-Files. I mean, if you're a big...
The one main thing, too, before you get too far, is in the very first book, like within the first 3 pages, a chick with a beauty is chilling on the bus. And all of a sudden, she starts coughing and blows up, spontaneously combusts out of nowhere. And now this is starting to happen on a regular basis. People with the beauty are just blowing up out of nowhere, and it's a huge deal.
Yeah, I'm so glad Savanna said something because we started
It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
So that's like awesome. So that's where that pharmaceutical thing kind of starts to tie in, and then they start to unsolve. They're trying to figure out why people are blowing up, and they like, well, people might have, what is it, an like 800-day time thing?
Yeah,
what was
they're
it?
still trying to figure it out.
Beauty has an 800-day lifespan until you blow up. They've calculated in however 14 deaths or whatever.
Right. And it's like right away, it's just, I like any comic that sets up the rules of the world really quickly, and I feel like that's what this series really did. It really set up, like, here's this disease, here's the dilemma, here's the repercussions of it, this is how it affects everyone, this is why you're supposed to care, and right off the bat, this series starts that off right away.
Yeah, I really like that it's believable.
Totally.
Yeah. This is not one of those comics where you're just like, 'cause comics, and you kind of have to accept it. And they actually did a really good job explaining the disease, what happens to your body, because you're essentially creating a disease from thin air. And I really liked it. It really worked well. It was well, it was tied together and made sense. I wasn't bored. There wasn't a moment where I was like, 'cause comics,
Yeah.
Yeah, no one had to go because comics. Yeah. A really well thought out concept, and I love the fact that this concept can go anywhere, because what we're talking about right now is only the first 6 issues, which if they wanted to end it, they could. Like that last panel is kind of perfect, but because of all the stuff that happens in the series, I'm pretty sure we're going to get a second part, and I'm really excited for that. So
I hope so. That was one of my questions, whether it was over or not. Because I reread it today, and I don't think I had read the last issue, so that was a surprise for me. So is it over or is it not?
I think at the end of the last panel it says end chapter 1.
Yeah, a really good bad guy too. That Calaveras guy is mean as shit. He's a really, really good, scary villain. Like, he wears a mask, and he's fucking nuts, and he's got fucking heavy assault silencer pew-pews going everywhere. I love it. It's great.
Fucking gnarly. Dude, he reminded me of the Baron from Hellboy, who would do voluntary surgery on himself.
Yeah.
Or he reminded me of the if anybody watches Gotham, the main hitman, the crazy looking white dude, but he's got like like a sugar skull type mask on in the comic book. Who's that? Who's the bad guy in Gotham?
Oh, it's like Los Muertes or something like that.
Anyway, same type of thing.
It's something really like basically.
He's just this tall, gangly, crazy laugh. And there's this one part in the book where he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna cut your beautiful fucking perfection to pieces." And the next panel is just him with this guy with his like ribs just open and carved.
Oh, I know.
Guts everywhere. It's so good.
Dude, and shit got like fucking from hell.
No, that was traumatizing because I looked at the guy and I was like, "Oh, this art! Look at this art! It's great." And then it's just like carcass.
Yeah.
No.
And the art in this book, I can't say that it's not anything special because it really is really dark. Like the tones of the book itself are like super muted, and sometimes like this scene in particular, like it's simple and it's complicated at the same time. It's just it fits this story really well. Like you see it all.
There's something really cool about there's something really cool about that because you're talking about like how clean this art is, and it does have like these dark tones to it. But when you usually have art like that, I think we talked about this in another series that Ian, like The Goddamned, where it's really hard. You're not quite sure who which character is at any given time because sometimes they all start to look the same.
Yeah.
That's not a problem in this comic. Like I actually like the fact that you see one guy before he has the beauty. And then you see the evolution of his character, and there's details that they actually draw into his face to show that now he has contracted the beauty. And I thought, like, right off the bat, that's something really hard to do for comic artists. And I thought that was a really great accomplishment for the series.
Yeah, it's really nice on the eyes to read. It's, like I said, it's not super, like, artsy-fartsy, but it's comic book, a little pulpy, like New Age pulpy, I would say. You're into that kind of thing?
I like it. Good call on that one. We're like, yeah, we really like it a lot.
I'm just scrolling through the comic book. Wait, I do have a question, though.
Okay.
Did you guys think that Calaveras, because something fucked up happened to his face, it almost seemed like he combusted and survived it.
Well, that's like what. Remember when what ends up happening at the end to the lady detective? She takes that shit and turns into that thing, and that's kind of like the same thing that happened to him. So something happened with him. I don't think he has the beauty. I think he's just like burned or just fucked up, and he wears that mask.
Oh, okay.
Remember what happens to her at the end? She goes all Deadpool-y.
Yeah. So eventually they do find the cure, and the cure is not.
Spoiler alert! Sorry.
Yeah. We're gonna spoil because we want you guys to read this. I mean.
But the cure is not essentially. It's a unbeauty you, and now you're hideous.
Yeah, instead of the cure is essentially like you get to live, but you look like Deadpool.
But for someone like her, she was relieved because she didn't want the disease. She wants to live, so she doesn't care. But all the people that are super vain are. No.
That's a good way to put it. Like she got exactly what she wanted. Yeah. She didn't want the beauty anymore. She wants to live.
But do you guys think she's going to stay really that way, or is she going to revert back to her normal self?
I think she's going to stay that way.
Oh, dude, that's going to be rough.
It's going to be rough on society. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh. That's a really good way to look at it.
It just clicked in my head like the most epic, like, consequence ever. That's awesome. Doggy.
That's Doggy.
Aww. Sorry, our animals make a lot of guest appearances on this show. But yeah,
I'm looking back at the ball of fat laying next to me.
I tried to sedate Tess with a chew toy, and she already took it down in like 10 minutes.
Oh no!
I was like, all right, well, guess you're gonna walk around a lot during the apartment. Yeah, so that is such an awesome concept. That just occurred to me. So now everyone who's faced with the beauty, originally in the beginning of the series, society looks at them and goes, "Ew, fuck you. You're dirty. You had sex. God, I mean, how horrible, heathen." And now these people who are going to take the cure just go like a complete 180 opposite direction of what the beauty does to the body and makes you like the worst version of yourself. And now society has to take a look at that. And I like that. That is a really awesome concept you just threw out there.
And it's not, and it'll spread because this is it'll happen to everybody eventually, right?
I think so.
It's not an option
to
look like Deadpool.
Unless you're Deadpool.
You get to wear a cool red suit though. Talk a lot of shit.
And he gets the hottest girl.
He has knives.
Yeah.
Swords.
Deadpool got the hottest girl.
Yeah, she is so hot. Speaking of Gotham, ooh.
Is she in Gotham?
Yeah, she's the doctor. The fucking. She's the Gotham PD. The fucking. Oh my God, no words. Where's my words?
I feel horrible. I don't watch Gotham.
I don't watch Gotham either.
You know, it started a little weak and then it got a little stronger. The whole Fish Mooney character ruined it for me. Now that she's gone, it's way better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that was like a built for the show, Jada Pinkett Smith.
I just had. We'll do a tangent for a second before we move on to the next comic. But my thing with Gotham was I felt awkward about how all the villains are awkwardly aged older than Batman will be when he becomes Batman. But
the whole baby bat complex made me crazy too. He's like,
yeah,
I'm Batman, but I'm 5.
And I have a hard time with the fact that all the female characters that they've introduced are age appropriate.
Yeah.
For when he becomes Batman. So I was like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know.
There's poor planning there. I really hope it turns into more of just like a Gotham PD type show and a whole lot less Batman and less that story and more of just like
I don't need
Gotham
Batman
story. Yeah, I don't need Batman.
I want what was it? Greg Rucka? Did he do Gotham PD?
Yeah.
That's another great series. That's one we'll have to talk about one day. That's Montoya, and it was Gotham City Police Department without Batman handling.
I have it right over here.
Batman shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's always. By the way, that's being Savannah's friend. She's like, oh yeah, I got that right here.
I gotta say, you guys owe me a Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. conversation.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. All about that. All about that.
Well,
Speaking of starting off weak and turning strong.
Everybody, whoever's listening, if you just
lay down. Come on, go on.
If you just get through the 6 episodes, through the 6 layers of cheese, there's an amazing show after that. You know, those first episodes. Trust me.
Yes.
Freaking, oh my God. The 2 scientists, I take a bullet for them. I love those characters. Okay. Sorry.
I love Fitzsimmons.
Hello, Fitzsimmons.
Yeah,
yes.
I love Fitzsimmons. I also, by the way, the girl who's portraying Bobby, Mockingbird.
Oh, yeah. It makes me love Bobby way more. High fives. No. Yeah. I'm like, I'm all about Mockingbird these days.
Yeah, dude. I think, especially when that series drops, I think, believe it or not, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to make me buy Mockingbird comic.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But, I know, sorry, we're nerds. We talk about shit. So the Beauty, I don't think it's going to start up right away again. I think they're going to take a rest and do a second chapter. But I love it. This was one of my favorite series last year. I was really sad to see it wrap up.
Another one of those, like, what society could be or what could happen. I mean, it's a wild-ass concept, but it makes you think, about being vague.
Image is just killing it with all of these comics that just make you think, they're actually, like, nourishment for your brain. I don't know.
Right. No, you're absolutely right.
Something that Marvel is not doing very good at doing.
No.
I think Marvel addresses issues, but they address it on the surface, and they don't create a complex storyline like The Beauty does, where you really do have to peel back the layers and look at what they're talking about. And like when this conversation happens, we're literally looking at, but now you have to look at like this, and you have to look at like that, and now the tables are turned, and morality is up in the air, and dogs and cats sleeping together. You're not getting a lot of that from Marvel. Not yet. So, yeah, I'm absolutely... when I want a deeper layer, it's I'm always turning to Image Comics. I'm always turning to indie comics. That's where I look for those stories.
Well, I mean, Marvel's done a great job at discussing in-depth, complex, in-depth topics in comics like X-Men, but they're just doing this whole other thing right now with X-Men. I don't even want to pick up an issue.
Well, there's a huge demographic.
So I know they can do it. I know they can do it. They've done it before, but I don't know what they're doing right now. So I'm just gonna buy the vision.
They think that, they think that people that have the money that want to buy comic books, that people who want something else to do with their lives other than the internet or TV, and they want to go read books that actually stimulate their brains. That's why, and they're not into capes and mutants and, you know, giant metal dudes. They want something real, you know?
I think it's kind of sad because especially when you bring up the X-Men, we've lost that. Like, I've
They
lost...
took it from us. They took it from us.
Dude, hold on. Savannah, please do that. Look that right in the camera and do that again.
Oh, no. You can't put me on the spot like that.
Okay, sorry. But yeah, I want that with my X-Men. I want my race relations, and I want my political like atmosphere, and I want that stuff addressed.
And
like,
I want, you know, Colossus.
We want Colossus. Colossus is the best. I want Nightcrawler and Wolverine to have a friendship again. I miss that.
You're breaking my heart right now.
Yeah. I miss having Wolverine have like a little female sidekick, very lone wolf and cub. I miss that dynamic. I miss all of that. So pissed off with that right now.
Yeah,
we might get that with young Jean Grey and old man Logan, but that's just a whole weird Oedipus complex.
Yeah.
I want another staging Dr. Freud thing.
Yeah, and then they push the Inhumans so hard to try to fill that hole, and it's just like a pea rolling around a hamster wheel. It just does not fucking work. It can't do that. No. Inhumans are the Inhumans, and the X-Men are the fucking X-Men. They can't.
Guys, you have to understand the X-Men. The Inhumans are the Google Plus of the internet. Like they're just gonna force it on us.
That's
we
so
have
mean.
to do it.
That was a dig. That was a dig.
Good one. I need some
That
ice.
was a good one.
But yeah, we have to deal with the Inhumans whether we want to or not, guys. I'm sorry.
I mean, who are you talking to? Like, come on. I love me some Inhumans, but I don't know if anything.
Exactly. This is the thing. The Inhumans are great, but I don't think that they should become the X-Men.
No, then you're almost taking away from them by taking the X-Men away, and that's just shitty politics and contract signing, and I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that.
Yeah, I think at this point, like, I want a corporate.
Getting riled up.
I want Disney to be like, look, what's it going to take for us to get the X-Men back? Oh, we just buy Fox? Okay.
No. Disney's like, fuck the X-Men. We have Star Wars. They don't give a fuck about the X-Men. They are ready to bury that. They are ready to bury that. It's been ruined. It's been tarnished. It can't even be fixed now at this point. Deadpool's doing good. Did a good one. But Deadpool's always been his own entity, though. He's never, like, I mean, yeah, he's an X-Men, and but he's always just been, like, Deadpool. You know, he talks to the camera and shit.
But, by the way, can we just talk about the fact that the two X-Men, the little bit of X-Men that we dealt with in Deadpool got the X-Men right better than the last 18 X-Men movies we've had.
Oh, well,
like, I put that on Front Street all the time. Like, Deadpool got it right.
It was amazing. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
10 gold stars for Deadpool.
I needed this. Do you guys want to move on to something a little bit scarier?
Yes.
Let's do it.
By the way, go pick up The Beauty. Especially, like I said, when we go back and revisit comics, guys. So when you go read The Beauty, come and watch this episode. And like in 6 months or so, when they do a new second run, we'll go back and revisit it. And because you're watching it, then you get to talk about it with us. Interactive book club show. We thought it all through.
And it's not that far off. It is not that far off where you can't just jump in with. Is the trade paperback out?
Not yet. Not yet. So that's coming. I mean, hopefully, then you read that and
hunt down the 6 issues. Then that's the part of the fun of collecting comics too. Is going through different stores, going through the racks, finding variant covers and issues you're missing. That's the fun of it. Do it. Go do it. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, and Ian's absolutely right, because when you start digging for comics, when you go to a brick-and-mortar local comic book shop, and I realize not everyone can, that's where Comixology comes in, because you guys don't have a shop around you. I totally get that. But when you go to a shop, and hopefully they're not fucking douchebags, because sometimes we have to deal with that, when you go comic book digging, a clerk or someone who's super fucking awesome in that shop's going to look at what you're looking at, and they're going to go, cool, let me help you find something else.
Like my good friend Jennifer, she went to a comic book shop the other day looking for a book that we recommended, and she ran into an older comic book shop that didn't have any newer indie comic books. So if you're going to be looking for indie comic books, make sure that the store you go to has them in stock.
Mhm.
Call ahead, maybe send them an email or something, because I don't want you to like waste your time and get discouraged because you
Also,
can't find what you're looking for.
local comic book shops will order stuff for you.
Yeah, but still, just and just check too. Like that's a
Yeah,
huge
okay,
thing.
but check.
Or just check. And they won't. If they have to order it, they're not going to buy it. They're just going to be like, oh, fuck it, I'll just wait for another one. And then they never go. And look, a good comic book store will have a decent website, too.
Yes.
Or some sort of way to look and see what they have, or a way to contact them. Blah, blah, blah.
Listen to us. We're trying to help you get into a shop. This is what we're doing with this fucking TV show. That's what YouTube show. Fucking nerdy
TV
thing
show.
you do.
It's a TV show.
It's real. It's real.
Okay, witches.
We're gonna talk about witches, guys.
Super spooky.
Okay. Look at that. We've all got our witches.
Very, very scary. I mean, not very scary, like rad scary, but scary.
So let's just, first of all, let me tease some of the motherfucking awesome jock artwork in this.
Oh, jock porn. Serious jock porn.
Jock porn all fucking day on this thing. That right away, that's where I'm gonna try to get you guys. That the art alone for this series is fucking beautiful. It's also jock because he works with a lot of digital layering. He does traditional pencil and paper, and then he does some really awesome computer rendering. And believe it or not, if you pick up the trade, it actually shows a little bit of his process, and it's really fucking cool. So here's other reasons why you need to buy Wytches. One, if you love Stephen King or Joe Hill, this series reads exactly like a Stephen King or Joe Hill story. It's awesome. But at the same time, it also has trying to figure out like when you're pulling back a hangnail and you're definitely afraid to like play with it. that's Scott Snyder. Scott Snyder's amazing right now over at the Batman series with Greg Capullo, and because he definitely goes there with those cringeworthy moments, he's adding that part of horror into the story. It's 6 issues. The trade is out. You can definitely pick it up. It's definitely highly recommended, and it's me talking a lot. Guys, why don't you describe what Wytches is?
You're so right with the like agonizing getting through it to the next page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on the head. Very well said. It's scary.
Yeah, it's a story about, and again, I love that it feels like a Stephen King story because it's about a man who's an author, and he's a children's author, and we're slowly shown that his wife was in an accident, and now she's in a wheelchair. That his teenage daughter, was a part of a murder investigation, and even though they couldn't find the body, some people do kind of slowly suspect that she was behind it. Mm-hmm. And this family has decided that they're going to pick up roots and they're going to move to a much more, quieter pace of life in a different town. to kind of restart their lives and kind of catch their breath and regroup and become a family again. Which I love that premise of the story. That story right there, it's like awesome. You're gonna move to some backwoods like hick town, and shit always goes down in a backwoods hick town. So you've already got me there. Yeah. I don't know like where to go from there because we're just gonna go spoilers, right?
Well, the first page, it explains, like, it's the definition of a witch, and like, it's super spooky writing, kind of Blair Witch Project-y, for sure. Yes. And then it's a picture of a dark, scary forest, and somebody yelling from a hole in a tree to please come help me. So, and then the next panel is some lady in a tree covered in blood, and trying to get out of the tree. Her, like, nose is missing, and then...
Yeah, by the way, part of her nose has been cut off.
Part of her nose has been cut off. Yeah.
Gone.
So it just looks like face. Anyway, she's trying to climb out of the tree, and she sees her kid in front of her. And her kid picks up a rock to try to, like, help her out, and he ends up cracking her in the face with this rock and says, "A pledge is a pledge." And then it shoots to her getting pulled into the tree by, like, scary faces, hands, gnarly, scary shit. And then it starts with the story of, what's her name? Her name is Haley? No, Sailor.
No. Sailor.
Sailor. And then she's Sailor starting school.
So do you remember Tim Burton's take on Sleepy Hollow. Am I the only one?
No, yeah, for sure.
Okay, I've got nodding heads. Awesome. Remember when the Headless Horseman always dives into the tree? Like, I just
Mhm.
feel like someone saw that image and went, cool, let's go run with that. And all the imagery with people and the trees keeps coming to play in the series a lot. It's fucking scary. You wouldn't think trees are scary, but Savanna's absolutely right. That first scene completely sets up what we're in for. And it's really fucking creepy. So now she's in school, and everyone knows that she's the girl. And like, talk to me. I like
Uh,
one. I like how the series. I like the story jumps back and forth.
Yeah,
That was a really cool
it
way.
goes back and forth for a while. Like, Ian, you tell him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what I like about this story is, I mean, let's digress for a second. The art is amazing. It's taking risks. Is you're not gonna get. You don't see this art, this type of art, or this type of uniqueness in a comic every day. You just don't get it. So you
Mm-hmm.
should just pick it out for that, just for that alone, because just flipping through it, it makes you go, whoa. You know, it really. It's it's really beautiful to see. Also, the relationship between the father and the daughter, and all of the demons the father's kind of going through, are really interesting. That the characters have a lot of depth. You know what the daughter's been through alone, what the mom's been through, and what the dad's been through, and it's all of them just trying to work through it together. Also, it's a horror comic. It is a
Yes.
horror comic. It reminded me a lot of, I don't know if you guys have seen The Descent, this horror movie about
Oh,
the Descent, these creatures that are kind of hiding inside this mountain, and you know, a group of girls and guys kind of like get lost in this cave, and they encounter all these creatures.
mm-hmm. I do remember that.
It kind of reminds me of The Descent. Not exactly, but it really brought me back to that film, and I really love that film.
Yeah.
Um, that there's conspiracy, there's mystery in there too. There's just so many layers, and it's really great. The twists. I'm not gonna say much, but the mom twist.
Like, that's why I don't want to do too.
Oh,
I don't want
yeah.
to get too spoilery.
Holy
I know, and
shit!
to me, I'm ready to like tell the whole story. So I
Yeah.
need to like tell
That
you.
twist was. I was like, what?
Yeah, with what happened to that and why she does that, and you're just like, no.
Why?
I remember. This is a gaspy book. If you're reading it in public, you're gonna be
Yeah.
like, holy
Yeah.
fuck.
There
It's a
are
book
times
that totally does that, and it's
I
ugh.
am always so fucking surprised when in a comic book someone is capable of making me jump at the turn of a page. Like, that blows my fucking mind. That happens a lot in this series because you're like, oh, everything's fine, and then like you literally get shocked by like the next image and what the image like conveys in that message. It's totally fucking creepy. Like, this comic has that. It totally does that.
And it's not over the top, super gory. It is like
Mhm.
spooky with with a little. It's just spooky as shit.
It's
Yeah.
and
It's
also
it
I like
definitely it's not shock value. You know what I mean? A lot of things today are shock value, and this isn't it. It's just
mhm.
legitimately like scary, and it's horror, and there's depth there. You know, there are
Yeah,
a lot of things that are horror that are being released right now that are just shock value.
right.
American Horror Story. You know, and they're just like shit now. It's just like, I don't want to see a bald creature with a drill penis ass rape a guy. I'm sorry, I'm not into that. Okay, you know, pilot of Hotel, gross.
I see. I don't watch those movies.
Yeah, don't watch that stuff. American Horror Story has gone from season one, which was written beautifully and amazing, there was depth there, to just drill penises. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
how did we get here?
I was
Anyway,
I
sorry.
so no. I'm so on board with you because I loved that first season of American Horror Story. Loved.
Uh,
And then the second season I was like, okay. Third season, now you're losing me.
yeah.
Fourth season, I don't know. Like
Did
I
you
know
guys
there's
see
a
Crimson
bigger
Peak?
story, but
Crimson Peak? Either of you?
Crimson
I
Peak was that
The Blood Mountain?
the Del Toro movie?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
I didn't watch it.
I loved that movie. It was fucking cool. That's the type of horror that I like. Or that movie, The Haunting. With
You like gothic horror. You
I
like gothic
do.
horror.
I do. I love
Yeah.
it. It's fucking rad. I
Wait,
don't
The
like.
Haunting. Remind me of that film. Remind
The
me.
Haunting is the one with Owen Wilson, and the fucking thing comes down and crushes him, and the house like talks to her, and she has to go find the wife that hung herself, and all the kids are in the walls. Remember
Wait,
that
give
movie?
me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Oh my god.
Whoa. Anyway.
Which, by the way, Ian is our horror aficionado in this group. So whatever Savanna just said that made him get really excited to go jump up and do something,
Oh my god.
I'm very excited for this.
What?
Okay, so I do this thing because, you know, I hate HD. I hate high definition. Crucify me. I don't care. I'm sorry. Everything looks fake now. I don't, you know, the X-Files, the revival season looks so awful. I don't believe it. It's all a joke. It's stupid. I didn't watch it. You know, so what I do to kind of go back to those times where I was really diving into a fantasy, you know, and everything looked, it could happen. So what I do is I go thrifting and I collect VHS tapes of my favorite horror films. And is this the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
That's it.
The Haunting? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that shit.
I love this film. This was actually the first film I saw in the United States.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the next movie I saw after that was House on Haunted Hill, and I hated it. I was like, this is awful.
Well, that was a remake, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bad
That was one of my favorite actors doing a Vincent Price impersonation.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Rush.
Oh, yeah, and I loved it.
And Jeffrey Rush is amazing, but like, if you're not Vincent Price, no one's Vincent Price. I'm sorry.
Okay, so Wytches.
Okay,
wait,
so
no, I do have one thing though. Does anybody hate me because I don't like HD? Anybody?
no.
Am I fired?
Quality of the
Like what you like. I have to return some videotapes. It's all good, bro.
Yeah, you don't. No one's ever gonna hate on you for something you love, dude. That's not what we're here for.
Yeah, I don't know. I HD. It's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing.
It's a tricky thing.
I'm kind of freaking out right now because after this episode, I want to see what my Twitter looks like because I'm looking at it right now. I guess the writer of We Can Never Go Home is like tweeting me, so I can't wait to get to that conversation.
Cool.
No way.
Yeah. So I want to check that out. No, but this is why Wytches is so fucking awesome. It opens up the horror genre and then gets you into it, like gets you talking about it.
And this is one that teenagers can read because it's not over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not a super hard one. I would say like 12 and older. I guess depending on your 12-year-old, but this is one if you have like a teenage kid that wants to, be edgy and shit.
Right. And something else I want to point out, I had someone when I first suggested this comic to somebody, they said, yeah, I picked it up. It because the art was so busy, they were like put off by it. I need to really reiterate that once you're in the story, the art only adds to what's going on, and it's actually it only looks heavy on the surface, but by the first chapter, you're immersed into it.
Well, the art sells the vibe. That's what makes it so scary is the art. I mean, and then it's the way that they put, like, the tiniest text bubble at the bottom of a page, and the page is just like, what the fuck? And then it's just like some little, like, white inked word, and you're just like, that's the scariest 4 letters I've ever seen.
And something I want to talk about, if you watch what happens, especially during because it tells the story out of order, but that works perfect for how they're telling the story. Mm-hmm. When you see them, like, and everything's kind of nice and normal and hunky-dory and we're a really happy family, the art's a lot cleaner. But then as it slowly starts, like, delving into the horror part of the comic, then that's when the layers that Jock is so good with start to pile on, and it only adds to it. It's almost like a cue to let you know that we're coming up to something in the comic that's going to, like, freak you out. And it's really nice and subtle how they do it. And,
and give it a chance. You don't see this every day. Give it a chance.
No, in fact, I can't remember the last great horror comic. I mean, I'm an EC Comics fanatic, so I love all the Tales of, Tales from the Crypt and all that good stuff. Like all the, well, I can't show those posters on the internet, but I have them.
But if you're into horror, into horror and you've been disappointed with everything that's coming out right now when it comes to movies and things, like this is great. Give this comic a chance. It's true horror. Give this a chance if you're disappointed with what's coming out right now. Which
Right.
me as a horror film fanatic, I am forced to watch literally everything. Well, I'm not forced to. I force myself, and it just hasn't been good.
Oh, dude, I have a copy of High Tension in my car right now that my friend loaned me. I can't wait to watch it. Like, I sit in my apartment and watch really fucked up movies by myself. I'm like you. I totally force myself to do it. Like, I
Best
hate
thing I've
spiders.
seen on the horror front has been that TV show Ash vs. Evil Dead, and that wasn't even really horror, but it did get fucking a little scary, and it was
That
great.
We need to do a Agents of Shield episode, and we need to do a
Bruce
Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Bruce Campbell tribute show? What?
Yeah, yeah. We gotta do those recap shows.
Okay.
One more thing I want to talk about before we leave Witches. There was a theme I noticed. I wonder if like I'm completely off base or whatnot. Did you guys get the impression that Scott Snyder was writing this from the point of view that he's a family man and he made certain realizations when he had kids that the scariest thing about being a father is what the rest of the world could do to your kid? I know this sounds weird,
Disappears.
but I almost feel like that there was a bigger message that it was like the scariest thing ever is becoming a parent.
And he had the whole like fighting your demons thing too. That's really scary shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I thought it was amazing how he actually took that life lesson,
Yeah.
whatever realization he's going through, and he made a horror comic out of it. Because there's just things, especially the finale of the series, you start realizing the father makes decisions to become a better dad, and makes decisions to be a family man, and makes decisions to move the family, that he's doing it all for his daughter. And I literally those last couple of pages I started to get choked up a little bit. And
Yeah.
I think it's something really fucking cool. Again, it goes back to when we talk about Image Comics, like the different layers and like the forces you to think aspect of it.
Yeah.
Agree.
Mm-hmm. So I hopefully.
But you're not alone. You're not alone. I definitely saw that too, especially when I mentioned the relationship between the father and the daughter. That there's a lot of depth there. There's a lot going on, and yes, the father's just scared shitless is what's going to happen to her daughter, and he goes through. He moves mountains for this child, and that is really good to see, and it was really fun to read, and it gave you the feels. I like comics that give you many feelings. It's not just scary. It gives you the feels, makes you gasp. I mean, Jesus Christ.
And the feels that take away from the blandness of the world that we live in.
Wow. Wow.
Just saying. Tell me I'm
right.
lying.
No, you're not. You're really not.
I know.
So Alex wants to know, hey Ian, did you ever watch Dead and Breakfast?
No.
Okay. I think
I'm
I know.
gonna write it down though.
That sounds super
If
fun.
I remember correctly, Comic Girl 19 showed me Dead and Breakfast, or at least she showed me a couple of the scenes from it. It's weird.
It's weird. Let's watch it.
It's weird.
And that's part of my homework. I always have this like Word document, and I always have a homework section. Dead and Breakfast.
Dead and Breakfast.
Have you seen Fido?
Yes.
I love Fido. The story of a boy and his pet zombie.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen? Okay, I wanted to give this movie a shout out back when we were talking about Witches a little bit more, but you guys have seen The Babadook, right, on Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh God.
The Babadook. That movie, it is like if you like Pan's Labyrinth, watch The Babadook.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree wholeheartedly with Ian on that one.
Please
Especially
support,
for the ending.
comment.
Especially for the ending.
Yeah.
So Witches,
really
we can't talk too much about Witches because that gives it away. It's one of those ones that
you gotta read it. We're trying to sell it to you. One other thing that I think is really, really cool, because they say it's 6 issues and done, but when you buy the trade, there's this great little thing here where it says Volume 1.
that means a thing.
I getcha.
So hopefully that happens. So that was our Wytches conversation. Like I said, read it. Get caught up. When the next volume happens, come back here. We'll talk about it.
Yes.
Okay, so let's head down. No. Yeah, let's do We Can Never Go Home.
There's a
never
backstory
go
to this.
home.
Tell it, Kirk.
From Black Mask Comics.
And like I said, we are going to give away limited edition hardcover copy from Local Comic Shop Day to one of our awesome viewers after this is all done. And I really hope it goes. I really want it to go to somebody who hasn't read it, but if it also goes to someone who is genuinely all about collecting really beautiful pieces of limited comic book art, boom.
And remember, if you've already read it, you can always find somebody in the comments that hasn't and say, hey, do you want to borrow it? I've already read it. You know what I mean? Community. We're thinking community here. Get in touch with each other. Share books. Share stories. Because I say that because if it wasn't for Kirk, I would have never read We Can Never Go Home.
Thanks. this is genuinely... Savanna, did you read this?
I did read it. And
okay.
Right off the bat, I really liked it. Really fast moving for my taste. I think that it could have been a few issues longer. Personally,
I agree.
Because it was so much story and it was so rushed in a couple of parts. And I get that that's kind of the point, but they could have gone so much deeper. Like I wanted to know more about the gang and more about. Yeah. And more about the parents and more about like I guess we read too many like super deep political books to just like get a story like this thrown at you that could have been so much deeper. But maybe there's going to be, I mean, they know that it's coming back in 2016, so maybe they're just getting a baseline set and we're going to do more. So I might be jumping the gun on that, but.
And no, you might be right because like the other thing is, and we'll talk more about the beginnings of it, but at the end, I do have a small theory that my earpiece keeps coming out. Maybe I just need to clean my ears because it's gross inside. One of the you're welcome, Internet. One of the things that I think the ending got reworked because they announced that they were going to do a second volume. So I think they changed the ending a little bit because some of the art duties change in the final issue in order to open it up for a second volume. But We Can Never Go Home. I describe this as Jean Grey and Scott Summers and all their teenage angst go hit the road, and it turns into true romance. And
with a very punk rock twist. That's
very
a huge key of the. I made actually a playlist that I pulled from all the books that he hinted through all the books and at the end and stuff, and shared that with about 30 people, and everybody loved it. Well, almost everybody loved it, but. Like a whole like punk thing that if you dig that, you will love this.
If I remember, We Can Never Go Home is actually the name of a Husker Du song. I think
yes.
Correct me.
Well, all the names of the chapters are different songs. Like it's That's When I Reach for My Revolver and Big Mouth Strikes Again and Death or Glory. Like all the names of the chapters are names of famous songs.
And so, if I remember correctly, Rosenberg, he actually also made a Spotify playlist, a lot the same way that Kieran Gillen did for Wicked and Divine.
Oh, that's so cool. I love it when they give us interactive shit to feed our senses. I love that. Love it. Do more of that, guys.
Other things I want to talk about, this art fucking floored me.
Josh Hood. Yeah.
Josh Hood. Has he, like I said, I'm new to these guys. I've fallen with everything I fell in with the series. Did Hood do anything else that we would know?
Not that I know know off the top of my head, but it's. Okay. I really like his style. It's very it's very comic booky, and it fits the like young punk feel. The colors are bright and kind of flat, but it feels good. Like when you read it, it works. The blood and the way that they make her powers look is really cool.
Yeah, there's something really cool. Like it almost feels like, imagine some of the authors and writers and artists that work on like 8-Ball and for first second publications. And like the Daniel Clowes of this world and the Adrian Tomines. Like imagine those guys doing a superhero comic book. Also, this right here is probably one of the coolest breakdowns for a car crash action sequence. That literally took my breath away.
I hear car crashes are way easier than, or way harder to draw than actual cars themselves.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to give people the vibe of this comic, where it's two dumb teenagers making dumb teenager decisions that
Yes.
only constantly make their situation even worse. Because I remember being that age and thinking I knew better.
Yeah.
It's almost painful to read because every decision that they make is
Exactly.
about it, and you're just like, oh God, why did they do that?
Yeah.
It's frustrating. Every time they make a new decision, you're like, why did you do this? But you like that frustration because that is how teenagers are. This comic is just as frustrating as normal teenagers.
Yeah, there's a part where she's like driving away in a car, and she's like, "Did you get the bag?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got the bag." And she's like, "There's nothing in here." And he's like, "My Circle Jerks T-shirt is in there." She's like, "I'm wearing a towel." Oh, good.
And by the way, you forgot the money. You remember
and the money.
Yeah. You remember the toothbrushes, but you forgot the money. That they essentially what happens is high school life sucks. 1, 2, we find out that one of the girls actually has powers, and she's been hiding them from everyone. 3, we also learn that she's adopted, and we definitely know that her adoptive parents are in on the fact that they know that she's got powers, and apparently they definitely work for a different organization that's supposed to keep tabs on her. So now right away you're just sympathizing all over the place with like this poor girl. Her name is Madison or Maddie. 2, we also meet Duncan, and he is just as screwed up punk rock teenage kid who is definitely already, we see his high school situation where people just keep the popular kids make fun of him, but he's definitely sure of who he is, and he likes to start shit and call people out on their fucking moronic behavior and gets his ass kicked for it constantly. He's got a bad home life. We meet his father so briefly because he doesn't have much more to say in the comic after we meet him.
Yeah, so at that point, they're like, we gotta leave, and then it all pretty much goes downhill from there. Like, she throws a kid through a truck, he gets picked on at school, and then they're running, and he's like, okay, we got this, 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 and this, and now we need to go get this other thing. And she's like, oh, fuck, how are we gonna get this other thing? And then, like, it's bad. It just gets bad.
And something I want to reiterate, I think if you're a fan of Scott Pilgrim, you're really gonna like this comic. Because I don't always like Duncan. Like, Duncan's one of the main characters of the story, and I get pissed off at him. Like, I found myself like, fucking moron, what the hell were you thinking?
Yeah.
And Scott Pilgrim was kind of like that in the comic book series. He wasn't always making the right decisions, and definitely had character flaws. And
you think he's gonna come back in the next volume?
I hope not.
I hope not too. I'm kind of hope they leave him in the cafe.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, she has powers, and then in the very first issue, Duncan says, "Don't worry, I've got powers too."
Yeah, and like there's these, and he's guys, can we say what the powers are?
Should we say spoiler alert? Spoiler.
This is a hard line that we walk, guys. It's like gray, but not gray.
We're gonna get a little spoilery.
Okay.
So Duncan says he has powers, but throughout the entire series, we never see him. All he does is ever rely on carrying.
Did you guys think he did?
He says, "I can kill people with my mind," and then she's
Literally.
like, "You kill people with your mind?" And he's like, "Who'd you kill?" "My mom." So instantly, she thinks that he killed his mom with his powers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So and he's like, and he totally brushes it off, like, "Oh, cool, thanks for being so rad about that little secret I told you. I just don't like talking to people about it a whole lot."
And
did you guys fall for it though?
A lot. Yeah, of course I did. She gets her ass beat a lot. Yeah, and then she's like, "Why aren't you helping me?" And he's like, "I just can't help you." And she's like, "I just killed all those people."
Mm-hmm.
And this book is not just teenage angst and punk rock love story. There's a lot of blood. They kill pretty much everybody.
I know. I remember Savanna kept messaging on DM. She was like, "Why do they keep killing people?
They're just
stop
everybody. It's crazy.
Dude,
just stop it already."
Yeah, they just keep making dumb, stupid mistakes and decisions. And I think for one, I think when you're a teenager and when one mistake spins out of control and it affects your entire life, that I totally get. And I think as you get older, it's still the same thing. But
well, that was the point of the story, though, is she needed to leave the life that she was leaving, because she was like top of her class in high school, going to get a scholarship and leave the shitty town, and then all of a sudden all of this shit hits the fan, and now she's free as a fucking bird, and it took all of that shit happening to get her out of the house.
Right. Right.
She wasn't even supposed to be in
and I
anyway.
do
So
feel
maybe
bad.
we'll get an origin story. Ooh.
Also, very much in love with, because he's the team satires female superhero costumes.
Oh, I love those.
Oh my God.
I want to show that right now.
That is pure. It's a visual orgasm. Look at
I
all of
like
that.
her Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel was really good. I also like when she's dressed as Judge Dredd. She's like, I don't hate this.
Oh, and the Tank Girl one. Oh, the fucking
And
what
then
was it?
Phoenix,
The
she's
Witchblade
great.
one.
Yeah, and she just like adds commentary on like all these different costumes because she's trying out like her what is now I've got powers now, so like what's gonna be like my cool superhero look.
So they
Which-
go into a fucking costume store though. Come on.
Yeah, and the best part is they also that was I forget which version this is, but in the there was a first printing and they did a whole series, and then in the second printing, apparently they went back and revisited that scene and did a whole bunch of other costumes.
I like it.
And
She ultimately just picks a pair of goggles, right?
yeah, she just picks awesome steampunk goggles.
Because she likes them.
Yeah, and she also really likes that Hellboy.
There was a reason.
costume.
She said that she didn't know if she was, well, because her powers are she's bulletproof. She didn't know if she was completely bulletproof, so she got goggles.
Yeah. But
How
then
much
again,
sense does that make?
are those goggles going to stop a bullet?
No, they were from a costume store, but still, it was cute.
Yeah. I remember thinking that, and I was like, I like it.
Yeah, I thought like her costume was like pretty fucking rad. Like when she dresses up as a BBRD Hellboy member, and she's sort of like, hey, this makes sense. This looks like something I would actually wear to like go fight crime. Like, I like that she liked the practicality costumes more than she liked the skimpy swimwear costumes.
Yeah.
And I do genuinely again when we talk about comics that make you feel this, I like the feelings that it made. It's especially like it welled up in me. It's not always going to be like super happy and everything's fine and hunky dory and we're going to beat the bad guys. Like, it's these two kids who, especially at the end of the series, are constantly looking for a place where they belong. And there's nothing worse than like thinking you found a place, and then the people that occupy that home are just as fucked up as the other situation that you left earlier.
Yeah, it's mostly stressful. I mean, there's some funny, like, lighthearted moments, but very few of them because they get pretty much right into leaving home, finding the things that they find, running into, like, the feds and then the gang, and then that's where I say it's, like, rushed a little bit because then it just kind of just 3 months later ends.
And I don't want people to get turned off by that because, yeah, it does feel rushed. I also think because Black Mass Studios is still such a startup, that there's limited budget, you know? So it's like, well, we've got 8 issues planned, and, like, probably Black Mass was fully like, well, we can afford 6. So...
But it was really good. So coming from that publisher with those type of limitations and being able to compare with some of the best of the best, that's... Good job.
I know, great start. I was going to say that.
I'm really excited for Black Mass Studios. I'm watching those guys. It's Mike Pizzolo. He also did a series called the first issue, Young Terrorists, which is very polarizing. You know, people loved it or hated it. I'm on the side of that. I fucking loved it. Also, Steve Niles did a really quick horror comic that was like space horror, and he's from 30 Days a Night. And then also, if I remember correctly, it's Gerwitz from Bad Religion. He's one of the backers of this comic publisher.
Cool.
And so I love this kind of like punk rock aesthetic, like creator-owned thing that they're going to do with this. Also, I really got to meet Rosenberg at last year's Comikaze, and I 2 things I took away from him. Just loves comic books, has a lot of stories that he wants to tell. And then 2, was working vigilantly to get the trade just right for when it went to publication. And just that quick, small conversation I had with him, generally thought, like, this is a guy, no matter what he's going to do, I'm going to be following his work. So I really want to pimp that out because, like, they came out of nowhere. I love this series. I really want everyone to go check this thing out. What's that?
I just said, make sure to pick up the comic and support them because if this is what they can do with just as a startup company. Can you imagine what they will be capable of doing in the future?
Right.
And
you first.
Go ahead.
Okay. And then also, I got an advanced copy of his next series. It's called Four Kids Rob a Bank, or Four Kids Walk into a Bank.
That sounds kind of funny.
And it's amazing. Like, it's already the first issue. I'm already telling people about that. That's going to come out in April. And I really want everyone to hop on board with that. Because, like, at one point, it's for geeky kids, but they're doing Dungeons and Dragons RPG. But it's all being told through the eyes of their RPG characters. And at one point, they get away.
Really cool.
Dude, and at one point, they get away.
That sounds really cool.
It's awesome. And at one point, they get away from the adventures that they're in. And now it's just their characters talking to each other about, like, really silly stuff, like normal life stuff. Please, guys, go grab this. Watch Black Mass Studios. Go watch what Rosenberg and Hood are doing out there. Go support these guys. This is the main point of this show. This is why we're doing this. Pretty into it.
But I do want to say something though. Yeah. And this is super, super, super spoilerful. So mute me for the next 30 seconds.
Okay.
I will try to speak fast. Okay, hopefully I'm muted. The very ending when she comes and finally finds the guy again. Duncan is his name, right?
Yes. And
she's just like, I don't fucking need you. Bye. That guy doesn't get the girl, and I feel like that is so badass. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna go on my own journey. I don't fucking need you. I don't need a man. Bye. And I love that because I love strong female characters. That's why I read Miss Marvel. That's why I love Alias with Jessica Jones, not the show. Sorry.
What?
Every time he's always
every time he hates her. He hates her.
Sorry, Kristen Ritter was I love her too. I love Bitch in Apartment 23, but she was so wrong for Jessica Jones. She was,
True.
or at least don't make her so depressy, suicidal. Like, she was too much of a hot mess for me, and I need my women to be strong.
That's how she is in the book, and she is strong. She's fucking Jessica Jones. She doesn't need to be mentally
I never took that. Oh, I don't want to get into this too much because we already talked about Alias.
Sorry. Okay, you me later.
Savannah and I.
Yeah,
like,
my thing with Jessica Jones was that I always thought, yeah, her life, she was a hot mess in the comic book, but at least she was really good at what she did.
And she had AIDS. Yeah. Oh.
I don't know. Anyway,
but in any case,
that's what I wanted. I just want to point that out, just because of that. That comic is great. The ending was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see what she's gonna do next. I want to know more about her because she has this sexy short haircut now, and I.
Oh, by the way, she's Asian. I loved that. I loved it. Like, at one point, they even made a point to point it out. Anyways, that she's like the only Asian girl in this like predominantly white school. And
they're talking about her being adopted.
Mm-hmm. And Ian's absolutely right, because the entire series is her like constantly bailing Duncan out of problems that he started because he's always trying to rescue her.
Who can't relate to that? The fact that, a woman trying to fix a broken man, like, who can't relate to that? People love messes sometimes so they can glue them back together, and this comic really touches on that. Just
ask Savanna about Thor Odin's son right now.
I like that.
Yeah.
Poor Thor.
She's gonna fix Thor Odin's son.
I'm gonna fix Thor.
But I'm so glad that was something I totally missed. Ian, thank you for bringing that up. She's a strong female character. She fucking rules.
She has the self-respect to be like, no, fuck you, go away. I don't need you. I don't need you and your problems. I'm gonna go solve my own.
And that's why it'd be really rad if they just don't ever bring him back. Like, you fucked up,
don't bring him back. Nobody wants Duncan back.
Moving on to bigger and better superhero type things, and she does. She has a sassy little fire engine red haircut.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of hope that Duncan does come back, only just to fuck up even more. So we're just like, are we done?
No. Okay, fine, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe for a second, just to get into that.
Other things I just want to talk about. In the back, it's really cool. There's some really, especially if you pick up the trade. I'm not going to give it all away. but there's some really great cover gallery art. There's some really cool little essays that are written by the author, and I do genuinely like. I mean, it gives you a cover gallery of all the issues. Other thing I thought was really rad, because I always talk about how it's hard for people to get a hold of comics. For whatever reason, I don't laugh, but Hot Topic was carrying this comic, and I was kind of like, wow, I'm so glad. Like
for the music aspect of it, like Black Mask probably pushed it to them, and they were like, hell yeah, we'll sell that shit.
Yeah, but I'm cool with that.
That was a smart decision because that really comic fit.
Target demographic. Target demographic.
That's genius.
And I'm really glad that you can. I mean, a retail mall chain store was like, cool. We're gonna try something with a comic book. So I was really excited for that. And yes, you're absolutely right. Target demographic. Just it's the same way when they sell Star Wars comics at Disneyland now. I'm like, yes. But yeah, and we'll be giving away a copy. So stick around later when we put the links down below. And Ian has organized all of that, and God bless you, because I was totally overwhelmed with it.
Should I explain it one more time?
Yeah,
just absolutely. For everybody who's still watching. Okay, so some of you may be already be familiar with Rafflecopter. It's kind of like a randomizer engine that will pick the winner for us. You kind of have to do some tasks to gain entries, such as follow us on Twitter or subscribe to the channel that these episodes are being posted on. I love him selling it in the background. Look at
he's like Dana White.
HSN Beauty. So that's it. And then I think that we will be picking a winner on Saturday, so we can announce the winner on Sunday. So that should be fun for you guys. You guys won't, please do this. You're going to love this story. It's great. Mm-hmm. It's great. It deals with a lot of things, and it's fun.
If you need some emotional purging, this is a good one.
We got you. And then I kind of want to talk about what we're going to do next week.
And I don't even know what we're going to do next week. What are we doing next week?
We kind of talked about it. We don't know what one of the titles is going to be. We're still going to have to talk about that, and we will get better at letting you know a week ahead of time what the next title is that we're going to talk about. We will get better at that. But I do know this. Over the next 6 episodes, maybe 7 because the 6th volume is very, very long, at least part of the show is going to be dedicated to our next book. We're going to do Lock and Key, and for the next 6 episodes, we're always going to talk about each chapter. And I'm getting goosebumps. And here's the cool part. At least one of us in this panel has not read this yet. And Savanna, say hello.
Hi. I haven't read Lock and Key yet, so.
Such blasphemy.
Yeah.
No.
But that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Okay. So for the next 6 episodes, get caught up in fucking Lock and Key, and especially if you have read it, please come fucking find us here, because we are going to talk about it. Also, I really want to talk about the fact that we actually just have a few people watching this right now, and the chat fucking blew up tonight. I was really happy to see how everyone was interacting in the chat with each other, talking about the different movies, the X-Men conversation, people giving links to trying to find some of the comics to other people that were in the chat that we were talking about tonight. That was something I started to get a little choked up about. This is my second Goosebumps moment of the night.
Oh,
and that was kind of what we were fucking going for. So yeah, get ready, guys. We're gonna start doing Lock and Key, and then also follow us at. I'm at Twitter at Kirk Like Stuff. Ian, one more time, where can everyone find you?
Ian Alexander on literally every site you could think of.
And then Miss Savanna.
Galactus Hungers. Blah.
And please follow us on Twitter. Please comment down below, especially if you're late to the game and you still want to talk about this stuff. Come back and find us at all our contacts, because we will be talking about and announcing the books that we are going to talk about next week. And what else? What am I missing, guys? We're doing good here?
Super cool. Next Wednesday. Go next Wednesday. Go get some comic books, people.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out. So.
Oh, and please leave comments. I always check. I check a lot to make sure that I didn't miss anybody. I love talking to everybody. I have had a couple really great conversations with people on the YouTube comments. So please do it. It's fun. I don't know. Or follow me on Twitter and we'll DM. Because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to talk comics with people.
We like to talk to you guys about comic books.
That's what we're here for. That's why we're doing this. Honestly,
why we read the books.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, like, between me and Savanna and I, all three of us get off on talking comics and growing the community. The other thing is, it's so funny because we talk constantly all week. And we're trying to set up this show, but then you can see, like, us
we
being
had, like,
friends.
one day where we didn't talk to each other, and we were like, oh my god, I miss you guys.
It's been so long.
We did have separation anxiety when one day, like, texting
one
happened.
day.
Like,
yeah.
Is everything
and
okay?
it's fun because have you guys noticed that it's not work? Like, we put the show together throughout the week, but it's not like we're planning to. It's just us talking. Have you guys noticed that?
It literally evolved out of us just having ideas and talking.
Well, me being on the show, like, I'm just talking about the books that I'm already reading. So I'm just sharing what maybe I shouldn't be sharing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I am obsessed with Savanna's taste. She gave me Tokyo Ghost, and I will forever hold that comic close to my heart.
Fucking knocked it out of the park.
It's my new Sex Criminals. I cannot wait to just buy 5 copies and just hand them off to people around me.
For sure. It will change your whole outlook on comic books. That one, Black Science, Low, any of those, it's like top 10 indie image books will just blow your mind. I couldn't say bad words about the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, anything by Remender for sure. Like, I'm so glad that we actually went out with a bang, too. By the way, guys, have you seen how many people are like, thank you for telling us about Tokyo Ghost? So, Savanna.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've seen a lot of people have hit me up about it. Like, I'm gonna go read Tokyo Ghost, or oh my god, I read Tokyo Ghost because of you and I fucking love it. And like, it's one of the most I already talked about this. Watch the last episode if you want to gush about this book.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. For maximum gushing, maximum effort, maximum gushing.
And by the way, when they start putting out more issues, we're gonna be right there talking about it. So, as always, this is the part that's so weird. Please like the video. Please subscribe. Please comment. Please come back because we want to keep having this conversation.
Come back for the contest. Come back for the giveaway. The link will be in the description. We won't go off until that link is there for you guys. So
awesome, guys. This was episode 3 of Your Mom's Basement. Please tweet us with questions, suggestions for other comics that you want to for us to talk about. Stuff that you're reading that you think we should check out because this is a two-way street. And seriously, fucking come back for Lock and Key. So for the next 6 weeks, we're going to talk about one of the best comic series that came out a couple years ago, and it's fucking beautiful.
Of all time.
Yeah, of all time. It really is of all time. I'm trying not to hold it up, but
we'll see about that.
I am a Joe Hill slut. I love Joe Hill and everything that he does. He could. I'm not even going to go there, but I love Joe Hill.
Dude, I'm seeing people right now, they're like, we have not read Lock and Key. Start,
because it looks dense as fuck, guys. Like,
next week,
17 compendiums.
There's going to be a fucking test.
There's going to be a pop quiz, y'all.
Yeah.
Get ready.
And like I said, if you liked Wytches, you're going to love Lock and Key. If you've read Lock and Key, definitely go read Wytches, because those are in the same vein with each other. I'm really glad we got to talk about that tonight. In any case, I've talked so much, guys. I love you. I'll see you in a little bit after we go off the air. But, this was Your Mom's Basement, episode 3. Guys, thank you so much. Ian, Savanna, I will see you later.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Namaste.
Thank you, guys. Comment. Bye. And click.